Good morning, guys, and welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. I am super excited to be with you guys today. And for everyone that is tuning in to Classroom Champions for the first time, remember that you can put your comments right inside of the Facebook comment box and on YouTube Live, and we will do our very best to get back to you guys with all of the questions with our amazing athlete that you guys might have today. We are super excited to welcome Tiffani McReynolds, who is an amazing track and field athlete and is going to be with us on this Wisdom Wednesday. And we are Tiffani squared. So, everyone out there, we
Yeah.
have some great things in surprise for you today. Tiffani here is a track and field athlete. She's a professional and specializes in 60-meter hurdles and 100-meter hurdles. She's a two-time U.S. indoor bronze medalist in the 60-meter hurdles, and last summer made her first U.S. team competing in the match, which is Germany versus the U.S. in Belarus. Tiffani, talk to us a little bit about the video that's playing right now and what makes it special for you.
So the one in the white was from USA Championships this year, and the one that's showing now is just me at practice here in LA. I'm doing like 12 to 13 hurdles, and so that actually, that's just a lot of hurdles. So he makes sure that we definitely know how to hurdle and get things done.
I love it. Well, we have some special people here with us today. Dylan says, good morning.
Good morning.
Lori say, good morning, Tiffani and Tiffani.
Yeah.
Sherry's here. McKenna says, good morning. So we are super excited to have them joining us today. Like we said before, I know with Wisdom Wednesday, we always talk about things that you've learned and how you're doing. We have a special surprise today, and I'm really excited because you're cooking in the kitchen, and everyone knows that I'm usually here for Tasty Tuesdays, and we're bringing Tasty Tuesday to Wednesday.
Yeah.
And you're making some special circus animals. And talk to us a little bit about what you're going to be making in your kitchen today.
Yeah, so one of my favorite snacks, like whether it's before practice or after practice, is rice cakes. And so today I thought that it would be fun to make some rice cakes, but animal friend versions, because mine are usually just a scatter of fruit and nuts and seeds and stuff like that. So I thought it would be more fun to kind of like make some characters with them. So that's what we'll be doing today.
Yes. Yesterday we had ladybugs. We're just trending with the animals this week, and I love it. So let us know, what are you going to start with to make your animal friends?
Yeah, so I have some rice cakes, and I'm using whole wheat rice cakes, and there's tons of different flavors. A lot, like some of my other favorites are like apple cinnamon. Those are really good. There's also caramel. And then on top of the rice cakes, I'm going to be using peanut butter and also Nutella. So Nutella is it's not as healthy, but everything in moderation. And then we'll also be using a banana and blueberries, and we'll also incorporate probably some sunflower seeds and a few strawberries. I said a few, and I have a ton of strawberries here. So strawberries is one of my favorite fruits, obviously. So that's what we'll be doing.
Awesome. Well, I know there's some kids out there, and I want you guys to comment if strawberries are your favorite fruit. I know I personally love strawberries.
Yeah.
So I am not upset at your giant strawberry tub. I support it. So Tasty Tuesdays, we usually call Nutella like a red light food. So we got your green lights, your yellow lights, and your red lights, and you can have them sometimes. So I think that is a good red light food choice for these circus animals today. So you can get prepped, and let's kind of see what animal you're going to make first for us today.
Yeah. So I'm a Baylor Bear. So I went to Baylor University, and so I decided that one of the animals that we should probably make is a bear. So I'm going to start by peeling the banana. And so usually, like, you should be able to do this by yourself. But when it comes to cutting, you might want to ask your parents to help you cut. I'm using just like a butter knife to cut the banana in half. And I cut it in half, and then I'm going to just continue to cut and make like kind of like 1/4 of an inch thick banana slices, and those are going to be our eyes and our ears. So I'm going to cut about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 6, 5, and 6. And then you can have the rest of the banana for yourself, like as like a, side treat. So then for the first bear, I'll go ahead and use peanut butter. I'm using some crunchy peanut butter because I really like to have a little extra crunch, but I know a lot of people kind of just like smooth peanut butter. And if you're allergic to peanuts, there's tons of other options that you could use. Tiffany was mentioning like sunflower seed spread, or you could also make kind of, if you want to do like a polar bear, you could use like Greek yogurt. Right? So you could mix it up. And so this is our first little circle. And so on the circle, we will put a nose in the middle, and then we'll put 2 little ears up here. And then I'll set it down on the, what is this? My little plate. And I'll add just a little bit more peanut butter for the nose so that they stick.
Mm-hmm.
And then
looks so good.
Here's the little eyes, and I'll hold it up in just a second.
No worries. Well, you have a shout out. Lori says that she has a high school friend who coaches at Baylor and that it's a great school.
Really? So here's our first little bear.
Oh, it's so cute.
So there's bear number 1. And then we'll go ahead and do bear number 2 with the Nutella. So I'll get a fresh knife, actually, so I don't mix them.
You could have like a whole 3 bear series. You could have a polar bear, a black bear, and a brown bear.
Yes, we really could. It could be like Goldilocks, She's the 3 bears. Goldilocks and the 3 bears.
I like it. I want to challenge a kid out there to do a 3 bear series so we can see what it looks like.
Yes, that would be so fun. So here is going to be bear number 2. And so since I have strawberries, you could even use strawberries for the ears if you wanted to. That could be something that you do. I'm going to stick with, the bananas, but you could throw on some strawberries if you wanted to. And so I'm going to dip a little bit more for his nose, and then put his eyes. And we have bear number 2. And so the owl is a little bit more, involved. So this will be kind of like the challenge, right? So I have to pull up my picture of my owl. But the owl we're going to use strawberries for the owl's wings. And we're going to cut like 2 more pieces of banana. So 1, 2. And the owl, his base is going to be peanut butter. So I'll make him.
I think you're answering right now one of the questions that someone put up. Samantha said she has a student asking, have you made animals with other foods outside of your rice cakes? And you are making an owl with your rice cake, but like what other animals have you decided to make with your food, or that you can think of now?
You know what? That's a good question. I think as fun as these are, I probably need to make more animals with my food. So I'll have to experiment some more. I don't think I've really thought about that question. That's a good question. I haven't really thought of that.
Maybe they can give you a challenge of they make an animal and then you have to like answer back with an animal that you make out of something different. I like that.
I would absolutely love that. Okay, for the owl, we're going to make his 2 little eyes out of banana slices. And then we are going to cut, I have halved strawberries already. So these are going to be his wings. Let me see, where's the other half? These are his wings. And then we're going to have like a small little piece. So I'm using a sharper knife here. So I would definitely ask mom or dad to help you to cut his little beak for his little nose. And we'll use a bit more peanut butter for the eyes. And let's see if I have accomplished our owl friend.
I can see it.
Ow! And so I would say, like, if you wanted to, you can add like some seeds for a little like tummy, right? Like to show that he has like a tummy. So I was using sunflower seeds. But yes, the bears are definitely probably the cuter of the three. But you know, I'm not an owl. I'm a bear, so I specialize.
So the disrespect to all the owls that you just gave out there as mascots is totally fine.
Right. One of my best friends, she actually is a coach at Rice, and so Rice University in Houston, and so now she's an owl. But you know, we're not familiar with the owl thing. I can't, you know.
Hey, you know what? That's fine. I think your owl is cute. I love the bears, and I'm probably going to try this now. I'm a fan of caramel rice cakes. Yes. They are my go-to in the morning before the weight room when I did have one. And so now I feel like I'm going to get excited to make these bear. And every time I make a bear out of rice cake, I will think about you, Tiffani.
Thank you. Thank you. I also like to top them with like honey or something like that too, just to add like a bit more sweetness, because I love sweets, obviously from my use of Nutella. But when I'm trying to be healthier, I will use either honey or agave syrup, which is just like a natural sugar too. So yes, yeah, those are my go-tos. Those are my little snacks. So
well, Heather said that Cassie and her will be for sure making these. So there are going to be some kids at home with lots of pictures.
I guess I'm going to show them up. Oh my gosh! Okay. Before they fall off.
It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. So some questions that I want to ask you, and I know I definitely want to pan it to the kids at home. So if you guys have questions for Tiffani too, feel free to write them inside the comment box. Are you the cook in your house? Like, how is it? Where are you located now? Like, how are things going for you in this whole crazy time?
Yeah. So I am the cook in my house because it's just me in the house. So if I don't cook, who's gonna cook? But I'm definitely the cook in my house. But I have several like training partners that I hang out with too. And they are, oh good, I'm glad you made some. They're yummy. But I go to their house and sometimes they'll cook for me. One of my really good friends out here is also my training partner, and she's Italian. So she likes to make some Italian food. I just went down to her family's house like this past weekend. And we cooked and made cookies and things like that. So she cooked for me while I was down there. But while I'm here, I'm in LA. I cook for myself.
Hey, I love it. And Italian food is my personal favorite, so I would never turn that down. And that sounds like a good time, and you're still able to stay in that idea of being with your community and your people, and at least have some type of norm in situation and time where like nothing's really normal.
Right.
So talk to me a little bit about just like what's not normal. Like, how have you challenged yourself to keep training in this time? And, you know, like with everything that's uncertain with the summer games and it being moved, talk to me about like the challenges that you felt like you've had to overcome.
Some of the challenges that I think I've had to overcome have definitely been mentally continuing to stay focused on goals. Now that they are a little bit different, or they're switched to a later year. So the Olympics are now going to be in 2021 rather than this year, the 2020, like they were supposed to be in 2020. And so I have had to challenge myself to continue to work hard, just even though I know that I have like a whole nother year, you know, to prepare. Just really staying focused on working on the small details now, because those are going to add up in the long run for next year. And we've had to overcome being on a track. And so what you guys saw was me hurdling, and I have not been able to actually hurdle in about 2 months. So we've been running on streets, we've been running in parks, we've been running on grass. We've just had to make a lot of adjustments with the pandemic and schools closing and practice facilities closing, and we've also had to make an adjustment with our weight room workouts. So we lift pretty heavy weights, and for a while we were using just like stretch bands, and but thankfully now we've got some weights, so we're using those until the actual like weight rooms open. But those have definitely been a couple of the challenges that we've faced, and me myself have faced. So
Yeah, and like great wisdom that you dropped there of just, being able to just adapt and use what you have,
yeah,
and making sure that you're just being as resourceful as you can with what you have in order for you to look at those long-term goals, and knowing that like these little things that you said that you're doing is going to end up your big goal picture, and it's going to help you get there. So it's
right,
super important that the kids know that, and thank you for sharing that.
yeah.
And I guess since we'd always ask people what their favorite red light food is on Tuesday, even though it's Wednesday, what is
Yeah.
your favorite red light food?
My favorite red light food is cookie butter. That is my favorite. You guys are lucky that I didn't have cookie butter, because we would have had we would have had three bears. It would have been cookie butter, Nutella, and peanut butter. But I did not have cookie butter with me, because
I support that too, because it's like crushed up graham cracker. It's like the Delta
yes,
cookies that you get when you fly, but like in butter form.
yes.
Perfect. I support that. I never thought about that red light, but I like French fries, and cookie butter is definitely now up on my list. So thank you.
Yeah. I think I love like sweet and salty, but I will definitely go sweet first and then salty. So like, whoo, yeah, French fries are up there for me too. Definitely, definitely, definitely up there.
What was your favorite race that you can remember or recall?
Yeah, my favorite race I think was 2 summers ago. I was running in Padova, which is a city in Italy, and I was competing against one of my friends. Her name is Megan Taper, and she is a Jamaican hurdler. And so both of us are very petite, or smaller in size. We're literally about the same height. And I'm 5 feet tall, and she's probably like 5'1". And we were just like two little pocket rockets, and we took first and second in that race and pushed each other to get personal best. I think she ended up setting a really high mark for Jamaica, and I just ended up gaining a season's best and a personal best, and it was just a really fun race. So I love good competition, and I especially love being able to share that with my friends that are also my competitors. But that was definitely one of the best races that I've ran, or one of my most favorite races.
Oh, that sounds so cool. And it's awesome to hear that, you tied in teamwork, even though you guys are on two completely different teams. Like you guys were able to push yourselves in the same race, and both of you guys ended up succeeding in that. So thank you for sharing. And I bet you that was a great race to watch. I wish I were like in Italy inside of the crowd watching that, because I feel like it would have been great to see two little pocket rockets
Yes,
going for PRs.
yes. It was really
Well,
fun.
oh, well, I know everyone at home, we always end Classroom Champions Live with a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So, our challenge is going to be, we want you guys to join in with healthy living, and maybe you guys make your polar bears or your brown bears or your black bears or your owls, whatever your animal circus is. We want you guys to make it at home with your parents. Take a photo, hashtag Classroom Champions, and tag us so that we can see it. And if you guys come up with something else that's a different animal, I know I want to see it. Tiffani, what do you think about that?
I want to see them. Like, I would love to see what they look like.
Well, you got a special request here from Samantha.
Okay.
So I'm actually going to let you say it, because she wants the shout out to be from you.
Okay, nice. I'm giving a special shout out to Miss Olsen's class. Just a few words of inspiration. I would just definitely say, stay focused on what you're doing. Make sure that you always believe in yourself, and know that you can do whatever you want to do. A lot of people used to tell me, because of my height, that I wouldn't be able to hurdle. The hurdles are about half of my body width or length. I guess, and I'm probably the smallest hurdler that's out there right now, but at the same time, I've never let any of those challenges deter me from reaching goals. I've just always known that I might have to work a little bit harder than somebody else, or I might have to do something a little bit differently than somebody else. But anything that I set my mind to, I believe that I can do. And I believe that that's the same thing for you guys. Anything that you believe that you can do, even if you have to do it a little bit differently, or if it takes you longer to do it, you can still do it. So yeah, those are my words of wisdom.
Well, I know I'm inspired and I'm cheering for you. And yeah, I am. And I think it's going to be go Tiffany's. That's what we're rolling with today. Well, Tiffani, thank you so much for your energy and your time and the words of wisdom that you have showered on all the kids at home. And guys, ask Tiffani questions inside of the comment box. It'll be in play for later on as well. And thank you guys so much for joining us on Wednesday. And we will see you tomorrow for Thursday.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.